We have quite a long list of bugs to go through because we had an update yesterday. Players have found the bug when you change your camera settings in the skin room. This user said skin selection and change of camera settings equals this. Let's take a look. So they opened the skin room and then they changed their camera setting and they're out of the skin room. And you can walk around with the skin menu still there, but when you equip a skin, the menu disappears. Our next problem is to do with item identification when using Pebble. This user said Pebble's passive ability is no longer displaying the names of tapes, capsules and items. And if we take a closer look, they are correct. The arrow that's normally there that identifies things have disappeared. If you go to your dashboard settings, highlight arrows on will show the item identification. Highlight arrows off will turn it off. So that's a fix for that problem. Our next bug is to do with Roger's eyes. So as you know, Roger has been optimized. Users have encountered this bug where his eyes are a bit wonky, and for this user the blinking doesn't work properly. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Roger, and in RP mode, the attack beam shows even though Twisted Roger is in his capsule form. So players want that corrected. With Roger's new optimizations, he has a new animation when he picks up a research capsule, he holds a magnifying glass. However, for some players, the magnifying glass doesn't load properly. This user said Roger's magnifying glass is textured wrong. Not sure if it's for all his skins or just his vintage. Let's take a look. As you can see, the magnifying glass is grey. And this user has the same problem as well, and they are also using vintage Roger's skin and the magnifying glass is grey. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Roger in his attack form. This user said Twisted Roger's halfway in the ground. So people have been reporting that Twisted Roger is halfway in the ground, as you can see. And here you can see another user having the same problem, and I believe everybody can see it as well. And this user has the same problem, Twisted Roger halfway in the ground. Our next bug is to do with the animations of Twisted Roger in RP mode. So players have noticed that Twisted Roger's attack animation in RP mode is different from the animation that Quell showed us. As you can see, there's a difference. RP animations aren't perfect, most likely to reduce lag in RP mode, but users are wondering if this is really what Twisted Roger's attack animation looks like. This user has encountered the new Twisted Roger in-game. They said Roger's animations are the same as the behind the scenes ones in game. Let's take a look. So there is Twisted Roger's capsule. They activated Twisted Roger, and as you can see, the hand animation is just like what Quell showed in the behind the scenes. If we slow down the video, it looks like Twisted Roger's hand skips some frames. So maybe there's some issues there. The hand kind of snaps into a new location. Our next bug is to do with Alpha Sleeper Roger's skin. Players have reported that the arms behind Alpha Sleeper Roger's back, especially the wrists, look a bit twisted and the arms feel a bit bent unnaturally. Maybe if the dev team could polish the wrist area. I think the main problem is the wrist area. Our next problem is to do with Finn. As you know, he was optimized and players have noticed this. This user said, not sure if this is a bug or something, but I find it really annoying and I don't like it. But Finn's outline thing is going through his arms. And as you can see, they've pointed out the areas that they don't like, and yes, it seems like the outlines are folding in on itself, and this only started after the optimizations because now Finn's arms are bending. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Finn. Players have reported that Twisted Finn's hands feel detached when he's running. I guess a reason for this is because when Twisted Finn is walking, his arms do bend quite a lot, so there needs to be a lot of room for that to happen. So I don't think the devs are going to be able to do anything about that. Hopefully they can do something. Our next problem is to do with Brisk Breeze Connie skin. This user said, don't know if there is any possible way to fix this. Probably there isn't, but the new Connie skin's hat just clips into the machine, and if we take a closer look, there's huge clipping happening. This clipping problem doesn't happen with Connie's Lilac Haunting skin because the hat is much smaller. Our next problem is to do with Connie's Brisk Breeze skin compared to her other skins. This user and other other users have pointed out, saying, I see the Connie new skin with the face more up and smaller. So if we take a closer look, Connie's brisk breeze skin face, the mouth is much higher, and it seems like the face is less wide compared to the skin on the left hand side. This seems to bother a lot of Connie fans because people have said that she has a chin now, and players would just like some consistency between all of her skins when it comes to the dimensions of her face. Our next bug is to do with the camera being stuck in one position and your character moving around and the camera not following. This user said spammed Q for no reason and the camera got stuck in one place. And if we take a closer look, their camera is stuck in one place and their tune is somewhere else. This user has the same problem, and the cause might be from spamming your sticker button. So on PC that's Q, so opening and closing your sticker. If you spam that too much, your camera apparently can get stuck. Our next bug is to do with blind spots, which we have talked about before, but this is a new location. Let's check it out. This user said new twisted blind spot. Okay, so this is one of the art maps. And when they go in this location, Twisted Brusher completely loses line of sight. Our next problem is to do with Flutter's extraction animation. As you know, Flutter has been optimized and she has a new extraction animation. So as you can see, Flutter is extracting the wrong direction when she kicks the valve. Our next bug is to do with players reporting that Twisteds are seeing them, but there's no Twisteds around. What? This user said, I think the line of sight of Twisteds got a bit messed up. I'm currently in a solo run and Scrap saw me across the map. The same happened with Poppy and Boxton, which is why I'm quite confused. And this user has a similar problem as well, saying, not sure if this is supposed to happen. I don't have a video, but sometimes when I'm in a run, I get this sound when a Twisted sees you, but I look around, I see no Twisted. It's like an invisible Twisted saw me. So that's two players who have reported Twisted seeing them, so they're getting the spotted noise, and there's no Twisteds around. What's going on? Our next bug is to do with Dandy's shop. This user said after buying the last trinket, the requirements stay up, and it looks like they were buying the cardboard armor, and the requirements for the cardboard armor has stayed on the right hand side. I haven't seen this happen to anybody else before, so a very odd bug. Hopefully if they just rejoin, it will disappear. We have a small problem in the roleplay mode. One poster is not on the wall properly, as you can see. Our next bug is to do with the lobby, and there is a gap between the shelf and the wall over here, and that's not the main problem. That's not a big issue. However, the shelf does not have any collisions and tunes can go inside the shelf, and that's a problem. Do not replicate any bugs because they might trigger the anti-cheat system. Our next bug is to do with Dial's skin shop. This user has a graphics issue with the skin shop. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, the skin preview is completely bugged. Pixels are not loading properly, and it looks like it's happening to other skin previews as well. Very strange. Our next bug is to do with skill checks on machines. This user said skill check bug glitch on Dial. Let's take a look. So they go to this machine and the skill check has already passed a certain point, which I have never seen before. I don't think this is lag. It looks like their ping was okay. Our next bug is to do with Gigi. This user said this bug with Gigi's head is still not fixed since her release. It's not comfortable to play as Gigi when you notice these things. And if we take a closer look, as you can see, there are objects phasing through Gigi's head, and players believe that after Gigi's optimization that this problem will be fixed, and it's still happening, and Gigi players are not happy with this. Our next problem is to do with our most recent optimized Twisteds. On their information card, they're still displaying their old faces. As you can see, this is Twisted Tisha's old face, which is actually now her attack face. On the right hand side is Twisted Tisha's new face. Our next bug is to do with Gordi. This user said, I'm still questioning why this happened, but I really want to know. I don't think Gordi's tail is like that. If we take a closer look, as you can see, Gordi's tail has lost its animation. It's not supposed to be like that. And the user has a video of it happening. As you can see, the tail just randomly loses animation. Our next bug is to do with Vintage Blot. If you have Vintage Blot, you may have realized that Blot Jr is still displaying normal Blot, and players are unhappy about this. They want Vintage Blot Jr. Quell said, but in seriousness, the Blot Jr vintage skin we can apply soon. So Quell has officially commented that soon the dev team will update Vintage Blot to also have Vintage Blot Jr. So that's good news. Our next bug is to do with Gigi and her run animation. This user said, here's a bug I found. When you start Gigi's run animation, her sleeves go wild. Let's take a look. And as you can see, her sleeves are completely bugging out. A similar thing is happening to this user. They said small glitch, but when you run with Gigi, her new animation makes her arm sling wildly. The same thing is happening to this user. Our next problem is to do with the Autumn Palette brusher skin. Players have noticed that brusher paints the default painting. As you can see, it's the purple painting. This user said, kind of disappointed. This skin also doesn't have a special drawing because brusher skins are supposed to have different drawings based on her skin. Quell responded saying, that's on me. I drew those and didn't have the time. Sorry, we'll try and make it up in the future. So in the future, we will be getting a separate drawing for the Autumn Palette brusher skin. So that's good news. Our next bug is to do with Brusher's Autumn Palette skin. Her sandals are sinking into the floor and many players have noticed this. I wonder if the dev team can do anything about this. Our next bug is to do with a tape spawning inside an asset. This user said, I don't think a tape is supposed to be in the box. And if we take a closer look, as you can see, a tape is inside the box. So I wonder how often this happens because only Pebble would know because of his passive that there's a tape inside the box. I've seen research capsules spawn next to the box. Our next bug is to do with a major loading problem, which is somewhat funny. Let's take a look. This user said, I'm not sure how this happened, but yeah. So they switched to Eclipse and as you can see, the glasses just floats around and the head stays in one position. I haven't seen a loading problem like this. It looks like their ping is above 1000 it seems, so that could be a reason. We've talked about Trinkets not working before and it's happening to this user. They said my trinkets didn't work. And if we take a look, they have Sweet Charm and Ghost Snakes in a can, and both these trinkets reduce cooldown, but none of them are working. As you can see, Toodle's active ability has not been reduced by any amount, it's still 25 seconds. Our next bug is to do with the notice board being unreadable. This user said, I joined the update and wanted to see the board of new things, although I saw that the letters were turning black and disappearing. Please fix this, it's getting on my nerves. Let's take a look. As you can see, when they turn the camera, the board completely glitches out and it's hard to read the words. This user has pointed out that Twisted Brightly has a white mark on her lampshade. The user has also pointed out a mark on Yatta's Blossom body skin. Our next bug is to do with Tegan having collisions with everything in the game. This user said Tegan is able to push Twisted Connie, and if we focus on Tegan, as you can see, Tegan is able to interact with Twisted Connie. As you saw, very strange. So Tegan was able to interact with all Twisteds and Toons as well. And we have a picture from this user saying, so Tegan has collision and I accidentally jumped on her with no hacks. And if we take a closer look, Flutter is on top of Tegan because Tegan had collisions. Joey Sticks said, Tegan collisions have been fixed in lobby, and Joey Sticks said fixed in new servers. So if you were playing as soon as the update dropped and you noticed the collisions, they have been fixed now, so that's good. Our next problem is to do with the two new stickers that were added in our most recent update. As you can see, these two new stickers say creator aggressive hamster, and people were wondering if that was the true creator of these stickers. People were confused at the art style, wondering who made the stickers, whether it was Quell. For example, this user said, I don't think these new stickers are supposed to say creator aggressive hamster. Isn't this Quell's art? This user said, wait, huh? In the shop it says Roger's sticker was made by aggressive hamster, but in the sticker menu it says it was made by Ramble Snake. Quell cleared up the confusion, saying Ramblesnake is the artist behind the new Brusher and Roger stickers. The name Aggressive Hamster appearing was a bug that since has been fixed in new servers. And as you can see, the stickers now have the correct creator, Ramblesnake. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Gigi in the role-playing mode. Players have noticed that Twisted Gigi has an eye core effect only when walking on stairs, but when Twisted Gigi is walking on a flat surface, the ink effect disappears, and players are wondering why that is. We understand that animations and special effects in the role-playing mode aren't supposed to be perfect, most likely to reduce lag, but the ink does appear only in certain areas, so it's an inconsistency that players want cleared up. Our next bug is to do with the Rehearsal card, which reduces your cooldown by 5 seconds. This user said, neither of us took a video, but the Rehearsal card increases cooldowns by 5 seconds instead of decreasing. I have never heard of this before. This is the only user that has reported this problem. It could be true, I wouldn't be surprised. Dandysword has some unusual bugs. Our next bug is to do with Flutter. As you know, Flutter was optimized. This user said, since Flutter's more high up now, the candy effects end up in the wrong place. And if we take a closer look, it looks like the candy effect is still in the old position. So Flutter is flying higher now after her optimization. This user said, I don't know if this is a bug, but Flutter is too high up to the point where it is hard to play the game as her. This user might be on a mobile device. I wonder if Flutter's new flying position is bothering mobile users. Our next bug is to do with Tisha. This user said there is an invisible spot on the side of Tisha's head. It's nothing major, though you guys did a really good job with everything. It's amazing. And if we take a closer look on the left hand side, there is a gap in Tisha's head and you can see behind her. Our next problem is to do with floating assets. This user said, who gave this teddy the ability to levitate? This is on the four corners floor, by the way. And if we take a closer look, as you can see, the teddy bear is floating and they are talking about this map. And our last bug is to do with the treadmill machine and tunes colliding with them. This user said, I feel like you shouldn't get stuck on treadmills like this. Not sure if it's a bug or what, but I think it should be patched. Let's take a look at what's happened to them. So they are running away and they get stuck on the treadmill and then that happens. So this user is wondering if the dev team can add something where the tunes can walk over the treadmill like stairs instead of getting stuck on them.